brutality and the death of George Floyd. That should never have happened, and I share the outrage in the community. Yesterday we had a protest that I actually came to that was at West State Street starting, and was also by and large peaceful until the evening hours descended. And then the crowd, which was many were from out of town, some were from in town, decided that their productivity would be by starting to loot stores on West State Street. I don't believe looting a sneaker store or a liquor store really is productive or keeps the discussion going. We need so many things that we need to focus on here in this city, whether it be economic development or creating a better city and moving it forward. This sends us backwards, it sends the wrong message, and I understand that there is anger across America, from New York to Philadelphia to Los Angeles, and we're no different. But still, we have so many challenges in the city. We're small enough, we're diverse enough, that we could settle our own problems. We don't need people from the outside coming in to destroy what the good that we have been trying to do for the last 2 years. I would urge everyone to adhere to the curfew. We want the city open as soon as possible, but this sets us backwards. And the curfew, unfortunately, is going to remain. We're going to be on lockdown, and we're not going to tolerate lawlessness that's been in the streets that started late this afternoon and into the hours. I do have to thank our police department working in conjunction with the state police, county sheriff's officer, and area police, Hamilton, Hopewell, Lawrenceville, Princeton, Washington Township, some from Burlington, and even Falls Church, PA. I want to thank for our police for coming out and working together, but we as a community also have to work together. And this all should have been on the discussion stage. We had police that were actually in unison with the protesters. They don't believe that should not have happened to George Floyd, nor should it happen to anyone else. So we want to work together in the future. Lawlessness is not the answer. It sends this town backwards, and we want to go forward. Thank you very much for coming, and thank you, Director, President, and our emergency operation commander.
Good evening, everyone, and I would like to thank each and every one of you for coming at this very moment. My message is for the people in the city of Trenton. I am not only acting in my role as a city council person, my official capacity, I'm acting as a mother and as a resident of Trenton. I'm here speaking to you today because I am a mother that has lost a child to violence. We stand in solidarity with the Floyd family. We believe that all of the officers should have been charged, but that we must leave up to the prosecutors in Minnesota. For all of our community and our neighbors here in this city, if you have children that are out of your home at this hour, you need to make sure that those children are home safe with you. We cannot afford another death in our city. We cannot afford the looting and the burning of buildings. There is a conversation that needs to take place, but it cannot take place under burning buildings or looting. That conversation has to take place at a table amongst the city officials and the community. There is a conversation that needs to take place, and we'll be willing to have that conversation, but we cannot have our city destroyed. We cannot function under burning buildings and looting. That is not the way to move forward. So I implore all of my residents in the city of Trenton, to make sure your children are at home safe with you. Make sure that your neighbors know where their children are. Get on your social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and put the word out to the community to make sure that our children are home safe. We cannot move forward like this to destroy our city. It's only 5 square miles in land, and we cannot wake up tomorrow and find the city in ruins based on looting and fires. Again, I come to you as a resident and as a parent. Please make sure that your children are home safe. And for all of you outsiders that have come into Trenton, we will not tolerate this nonsense from any of you. If you're not a Trentonian, you need to leave our city immediately. I thank each and every one of you for coming again, and I will employ my residents in the city of Trenton to make sure that your children are home safe with you right now. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here under these troubling circumstances. You know, I was taken by a story I saw about George Floyd, and that was he was a neighborhood protector. And I think the fact that these fires are going on and looting and breaking into stores and burning buildings doesn't really honor his memory, because he was a protector. And I think this is something that George Floyd wouldn't want to see in his community. With that said, all 21 county prosecutors found it very disturbing to watch that video of what occurred to Mr. Floyd. And frankly, we issued a statement, a joint statement from the 21 of us that condemned the actions that occurred by those police officers in Minnesota. And we reaffirmed what we have done here in New Jersey through Attorney General Braywall's Excellence in Policing initiatives. We have a vigorous internal affairs process. We have a vigorous process to investigate those bad officers, those ones who dishonor and disrespect our communities. We have that in place. That's the way to work this. You know, our relationship with the community isn't built across crime scene tape. It's built in those church basements where I've been with my good friend, Sergeant Cynthia Hargis, many, many nights. And we've been there. We've been at National Night Out. We've been in all the neighborhoods. We get to know our neighborhood. We get to know our residents and the citizens. And to have something like this happen to Trenton, when Trenton's trying to rebuild and renew, is just something that's intolerable, and the residents of this great city shouldn't stand for. You know, Trenton was the birthplace of a revolution. And here we can make that change again to have our police officers more responsive and more responsible. But it doesn't start by looting a Family Dollar or burning buildings. It starts by conversation, as Council President McBride said. It's time for us all to come together as a community, as one people. Please, let's keep the peace. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I want to first give my condolences to the family of George Floyd, followed by my apologies to the family of George Floyd for the shameful way, the disrespectful way that the residents of the city where I am employed has decided to honor or dishonor his memory. I am so thankful for all of the mutual aid that we have received from the neighboring towns, municipalities, the Sheriff's Department, and as far away as Bucks County's SWAT team is also here with us this evening. Now, while I'm thankful that they're here, in my heart, I don't believe that they should be here. Since I have been here in the city of Trenton, I've heard nothing but about the Trentonian pride, how proud we are of this city. I bought into the pride of this city. I chose to come here and work because this was a city of tradition, a city that upheld its residents, a city that was proud to be called Trentonian. But tonight, I don't see that pride. Tonight, I see people setting things on fire, looting buildings, when there's already so few businesses within this city. We already have to take so much of our money outside of the city just to get the basics. And then those small businesses that still chose to remain here in Trenton, how dare you break in and loot and burn and steal? How dare you? And then say it is in the memory of, and then say it because we're outraged. You're outraged of what? So those new Nikes are going to make you feel better? You breaking into the pharmacy is going to make you feel better? So now tomorrow, because you've broken into these places, and tomorrow, because you set these places on fire, where do you think your family can go? Where do you think those dollars for repairment are going to come from? Those are all city dollars that we already have so few of. We are already trying to do the best that we can with the budget that we have, with the money that is coming in, and then you decide to go out and destroy what we have coming in. How dare you? I stand here now as one of the most outraged leaders that this city has in employment right now. Because this did not have to happen. For 5 solid hours, we had a peaceful protest. And people have the right to protest. They have the right. We acknowledge that. We embrace that. And we tried to make sure that everyone who came out to do just that was safe. But then the cowards of it all, under the cloak of darkness, decided that this was what they were going to do. And to see them running through the streets, smiling, laughing, sneaker boxes, and even alcohol. How dare you? So once again, we need to find where that Trenton pride, where we lost it. We need to find it, reclaim it, and for those people who did what they did tonight, try to impart and instill some of what we feel in them. This is not the last time we're going to have a protest. This is not the last time something is going to happen in our nation that some of us feel outraged about, and some of us don't understand it. This is not the last time, but this cannot be the answer every time something like that happens. It cannot be. The mayor is right. We need to have a conversation, and the conversation should start out with, this happened in Minnesota. This has happened in other places. We are fortunate enough that this has not happened here in Trenton. And the reason why it's not happening is because of the relationships that people have built over the years, people have nurtured over the years. So why are you here instead of having a productive conversation doing what you're doing? I am completely outraged. So once again, I want to thank our Mercer County prosecutor and all of the help that he has sent us tonight. I want to thank all of the various chiefs. There's too many to name, and I don't want to forget anyone. The mayor has named some of them, not all. But we want to thank all of you, because you thought enough of Trenton to come here and help us keep the city from burning down. You left your own municipalities to come here to help us. And so for that, I say thank you. And for all of the law-abiding residents in Trenton, I say thank you. We need you. We need to make more of you. We need to have you help us reclaim this city. Thank you.
Good afternoon. First and foremost, I want to offer my condolences to the full family. Having a young son myself, it disturbs me greatly to think that that could have been him on that ground. But the knee on his neck. So that disturbs me greatly. But two main things, two main points. I want to echo the sentiments of Council President's Bride. If you don't know where your loved ones are, you need to find out and get them in. If you don't know where they are, go find them and get them in. The second point is, every single day, we have an opportunity to exercise leadership. And this community has a lot of leaders, a ton of leaders. So I'm going to implore each and every leader in this community to exercise leadership from now until tomorrow morning and make sure we get this city back on track. Every single leader has the ability to exercise leadership right now and to tomorrow to get this city back on track. And lastly, we need to clean this city back up. So I'm going to, again, have a call to action for all the city leaders to meet us, the administration, out tomorrow morning to clean our city back up and to let everyone know that this is not going to stop us from moving forward. I want to thank you for coming out. And again, everyone has an opportunity to exercise leadership. Thank you.
Good evening again. We'll take your questions.
Do we have any idea of the extent of the damage in downtown Trenton at this point and where it's relegated to?
Yeah, first of all, thank God there were no injuries, but there were attempts to loot at the sneaker store Snipes, at Tony's Liquor, at the Dollar Store, and then attempts at a couple of Bank of America windows were broken. We're still assessing the damage, but this has nothing to do with the conversation about police injustice. And by creating more damage to our downtown business only hurts our city moving forward. So we're going to be working in conjunction to clean up. We want to attract businesses. We want a better opportunity for Trenton's future, especially the youth, and this sends the wrong message for businesses to come here.
Do you know how many people have been arrested with that?
I will leave that up to the director.
I don't have a total number at this time, but I can tell you that all of the places that people attempted to break into and loot, we have made arrests in most of those, and we're looking to make additional arrests in the coming days. So everyone, what they got away with, something probably did.
So there have been people that are...
We have been arrested, yes.
Okay. Do we have an idea of the extent of the damage to those businesses? Do we have a number figure how much damage has been caused?
A dollar amount? No,
Yes.
I don't have that at this time.
Okay. Can you talk about your personal reactions to watching Mr. Floyd suffocate to death while an officer kneeled on his neck?
Well, I, like most of America, did not understand what I was seeing. It certainly was not any tactic or technique that I had ever been trained in, or nor do I know of any other police department that trains that particular technique. So I did not understand why that was happening, and I certainly didn't understand why when he was saying that he couldn't breathe, with all of the other deaths that we've seen with suspects or people in custody saying that they can't breathe, why there wasn't an adjustment in the tactics. So I just didn't understand it.
Is it just relegated to West State Street for all the looting and rioting, or was there any ancillary areas of the city that were also impacted?
It is pretty much localized to that particular area. There were some side streets that people made attempts but were not successful.
We talk about the difficulty. This is an added difficulty among myriad problems that Trenton has. We've talked about them extensively. And just to be clear, what time is the curfew being rolled back to?
Well, it was an immediate shutdown, and we'll evaluate it tomorrow whether we're going to bring it back to 8 o'clock. We were hoping to move forward to lessen the restrictions, but this is a heartbreaker, not only for me, but for everyone else who's rooting for the city and wanting to move us forward. We have a lot of challenges, whether it's public safety, economic development, education, and even water. where we were making inroads in each one of those areas. This is definitely a setback for all of those, because when you want to have confidence in your business climate, confidence in the next generation who is going to take over the city, and you want people from the outside to come in and invest into Trenton. This is a setback, but we're resilient, we're going to spring back, we're going to all work together, and that's why it's so important that this community come together. Keep your children home, and let's worry about the future for all of them to make it better, not to go backwards as a city.
To you, Ms. McBride, do you feel like you still have credibility as an elected leader when residents see you, Ms. Vaughn, and other individuals arguing on coronavirus call? Do you feel like you still have stock and credibility to be able to preach to the residents and tell them, hey, don't loot, don't riot? Well, you guys are acting like, for lack of a better word, children on the call.
No, I think that today it shows that Kathy and I are together on the same platform, on the same page, and working together. We got to put aside our differences and move forward, and that's what's important, is getting on the same page and moving forward.
Do you have any additional comments to that, Mr. Webb? Do you feel like you have stock as a leader to tell other people not to engage in certain behaviors when you guys are engaging in conduct that's not becoming a public
When
issue?
you are dealing with city issues, you're going to have your differences. But when you're running a city of 84,000, you come together. None of that is important when your city is being torched and looted. You come together as leaders, and that's what we do. We're going to have our differences, and we could walk away tomorrow and have a little spat, but when it comes to representing the 84,000 people in the city of Trenton, all of that goes to the sideline, and the people of this great city comes first. So yes, you can have your differences and know how to put them aside and move forward.
To what extent are you guys going to, is the city going to do anything to try to help some of the affected businesses that were looted and destroyed?
Well, absolutely. I think we have an obligation as a city to help lift them back and put them back into business and open them up to make sure that there's enough police presence so that looting doesn't continue. So yeah, there's a big obligation on the city. We're going to be working with the businesses, just as we've worked for the last 2 years with them to keep them open, and to we look forward for the city to reopen, to have the restaurants open, to have a vibrant downtown. And we're still committed to doing that, and if we have to do anything more, we will.
Angela, how do you reconcile prosecuting some of the rioters with some of the claims that they're engaging in the behavior because they're upset about police brutality?
Again, I think I have to go back that you have an absolute First Amendment right to protest. And that right, in many ways, was developed in this city during the Revolution. But there's a point where that protest turns into riot. And that's what we have the obligation to prosecute. Again, Isaac, all 21 of us, all 21 county prosecutors looked at that video, and it was indefensible. And the communities everywhere have a right to be upset with that, with what occurred in Minnesota. But as the director said, that kneel on the neck technique isn't anything that's taught here in New Jersey. It's nothing that our officers are ever taught, or should they ever employ. And we've got that vigorous internal affairs process. We've got the early warning systems to try to weed out the bad officers. And that's really what the focus needs to be. That you do have those bad apples. We can't deny it. Every profession has them. But the concept has to be to bring those bad apples to justice and take that badge and gun away from them, as opposed to the looting and the burning and the fires that are going on here in the city.
What do you make of your track record and your office's track record in prosecuting some of those bad apple cops that you talked about? Do you think you guys have done a good enough job, or do you think there's room for improvement?
I'd be lying to you if I said that there wasn't always room for improvement, and we always have to get better. When we see those actions, we have to make a call on them. As you know, my office makes an initial call. It goes up to the Attorney General's office to review. They either agree with us or they disagree with us. And if we have to bring the officer to trial, we'll bring the officer to trial. And as you've seen in recent weeks, we haven't been hesitant to charge.
Does anyone else have any more questions? We're about to conclude so that we can get back and continue to assess the situation, and we'll be able to report to you in a few hours when we have some new and some more substantial information about how we're responding to this emergency.
Do you expect to have another update tomorrow at some point?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, real quick, how do you restore calm and peace to the city? What's the first step?
Well, I've gotten a lot of phone calls since 7 o'clock has been nonstop, and people are volunteering what they can do. Community leaders, church leaders have all reached out, and we're going to have a discussion. We're going to have a conversation with our community, but we have to decide collectively: is this productive to loot a liquor store or to loot a sneaker store? That's not the conversation that is starting to honor George Floyd. So we have to deal with the lawlessness. We're not going to tolerate it. We're going to protect the businesses. We're going to protect the economic vitality and the safety of our neighborhoods in the days to come.
Thank you very much.